Good morning. Welcome to my garden for coffee with Jen. J-E-N-N. Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the garden for coffee with Jen. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We certainly did here, and I tell you what, the signs of Christmas are all over the place now. We have decorations going up everywhere, and I see cars with Christmas trees tied to their roofs, and people are shopping. Oh yeah, and you know what? In our household, we are knee-deep in Christmas decoration boxes. So yes, Christmas is coming, that wonderful time of the year, and the signs are everywhere. And actually, signs are what I want to talk to you about today. I began our message today with sign language. My degree in college was speech pathology and audiology, and one of my curriculum requirements was that I had to serve as a student teacher for a semester, and I was assigned to a 7th grade class of profoundly deaf boys. And the first day when I walked into class, I knew about this much sign language. And when I walked in before class started, the boys were all talking with their hands. And their hands just flew so quickly, I had no idea what they were saying. And at one point, it got very noisy in the room because they started laughing and they were banging their hands on the desk. Just bang, 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 bang. And I looked over to my mentor teacher, like, what's that about? And she was laughing, and she says, you know, one of them just told a very funny joke. And she says, you know, honey, she said, in order to understand what they're saying, you have to learn how to speak their language. And she was absolutely right. And I went home, and from then on, I really truly worked hard in learning sign language so that I could understand what they had to say. It was an important lesson then. And I feel that understanding sign language is also important for my relationship with God, because God speaks in such rich sign language to us all the time. But like my teacher said, unless I understand how God speaks, until I understand his sign language, I won't truly ever really grasp everything he's trying to say. And so how do we do that? How do we understand God's sign language? And I think the best way, get to know God and his sign language by reading the scriptures. Their scriptures are full of rich, rich stories of how he speaks to his people. And as we're approaching Christmas, I'm going to read to you a story from Scripture. It's from Matthew 2, verses 1 through 12. I want you to sit back and just listen to this wonderful story. The visit of the wise men. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him. When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And assembling all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. And they told him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for so it is written by the prophet, and you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people, Israel. Then Herod summoned the wise men secretly and ascertained from them what time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word so that I too may come and worship him. After listening to the king, they went on their way. And behold, the star that they had seen when it rose went before them until it came to rest over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then opening their treasures, they offered him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. After being warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed to their own country by another way. This is a wonderful story, and in the story, God sends a beautiful, magnificent, he hangs a magnificent star, a sign in the heavens. A star and a sign that would lead shepherds and kings to witness the most glorious gift that heaven has ever given our world, to humanity. The gift of heaven coming to earth in the birth of Jesus Christ. And later on in this very same scripture, God speaks in another kind of sign language. He spoke in a dream to the wise men, to these kings, telling them, warning them not to return to Herod, but go a different way, because God knew that Herod had sinister plans for the Christ child, not worship. And if you go into the chapter of Luke and you read the story, the Christmas story, God speaks to Mary through an angelic encounter, and he speaks to Joseph in a dream. And what's so wonderful is that our God, our wonderful, faithful God, didn't stop speaking to us 2,000 years ago. No, he speaks to us every day. He speaks to us supernaturally, with supernatural sign language. He still speaks in visions and dreams and angelic encounters. And he speaks to us in his sign language of creation, through nature, through art and music and literature. And he also speaks to us in people made in his image, other people who are the hands and feet of Jesus, who speak to us in our lives and speak wisdom to us and speak kindness to us. That is how God is continually speaking his sign language in our lives. And I challenge you, friends, as we approach Christmas and as we follow that star to Bethlehem, that star that will lead us to the greatest celebration our world has ever celebrated, besides the resurrection. As we head to Bethlehem, I want you to think about how God is using his sign language in your life. When is your heart blessed by something you see or hear or experience? And when your heart is blessed, give yourself permission to believe that God is speaking his sign language of love to you in his own very special and personal way. Well, God bless you. That is my message for today. I hope you have a lovely week. And Christmas is coming soon. And so I will speak to you each week and give you a Christmas message as we lead up to this wonderful, wonderful celebration. God bless you. I love you. And we'll see you next week. Take care.